Sup gamers, Jimmeth here. Recently I was lucky enough to get my hands on a Gold Star 3DO interactive multiplayer, one of the rarer consoles of the 90s. I got a really good deal on it too. For just 400 Australian dollars I got the console itself, two of the best games for the system, two controllers, and the console actually works, which is not a given when buying retro consoles these days, especially on the cheap. Keep in mind that the console itself with just one controller and no games can easily cost more than 600 Australian dollars. But enough of me bragging about an expensive game console purchase I made. I'll probably do a separate 3DO dedicated video another time. But for now, I wanted to show you a game that I've wanted to try for years. Rise of the Robots was one of the most hyped games of the 1990s. If the advertisements were to be believed, it was going to be the most awesome thing ever. It had an awesome story, with awesome robots. It was going to have an awesome soundtrack by awesome Queen guitarist Brian May. It had a huge marketing campaign for the time, and was going to be released on every console and home computer of the time. So how come nobody talks about Rise of the Robots today? Surely with this much hype, it should be up there with the Mortal Kombat and Super Street Fighter 2s as one of the iconic video games of the 90s. Well, let's put the disc in and find out. Hopefully this story is as awesome and cinematic as Absolute Entertainment advertised.
Electrocorp's dream was to produce a revolutionary robot, ultra-intelligent and capable...
Never mind, who cares about the story? It's putting me to sleep. After about 6 minutes of cutscenes, the first robot you fight is some kind of forklift. Hold on a second.
Where's the fucking music?
I thought this game was supposed to have the most awesomest soundtrack that ever awesomed. Well, I hope you enjoyed that 5-second guitar riff at the beginning, because that's literally all of the Brian May that you're going to get, because the game itself takes place in near total silence. I beat the forklift just by kicking him in the dick. The second robot you fight is some kind of gorilla. I beat him just by kicking him in the dick. The third robot you fight is some kind of praying mantis. You're absolutely joking. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Are you serious? There's no way. He's not doing anything. The AI opponent is not doing anything. I discovered completely by accident you can win fights just by standing there and doing nothing. Because under certain conditions, the supposedly super advanced AI that they were bragging about in all of the advertisements just gives up in the middle of the fight. If your health bar is larger than your opponent's when the time runs out, you win the round. This is a game that is actively encouraging you not to play it. The fourth robot you fight is some kind of battle droid, so you'd think that he might be a bit more proficient at combat. Psych! I beat him just by kicking him in the dick. I wonder what this next robot is. You mean it's just the forklift again? And the gorilla? And the praying mantis? Finally, something different. This time you find a sentry guarding the main villain's lair. I beat him almost solely by kicking his penis and testicles over and over and over again. I get to the final boss, who is this Terminator chick who melts like the T-1000, and I get my ass kicked, and I get my head cut off, and I have to start the game from the very beginning. And if you even think for a second that I'm going to seriously consider playing all the way through this piece of garbage again just to reach the final boss, you're sorely mistaken. I give up. Fuck this game. In conclusion, Rise of the Robots on the 3DO is one of the worst fucking games I have ever played. The developers were more interested in making something that looks cool in a magazine as opposed to making an actual fucking game. They really did make a huge stink about how friggin' awesome this game was going to be, and delivered absolutely nothing. You get about 5 seconds of Brian May, some 3D animations that look cool at first but get really repetitive, and then you get to fight the stupidest enemies in the world in total silence. This game's box is covered top to bottom, front to back, in complete lies. This should have been recalled. This should have... Some dude should have sued them for false advertising. On the bright side, I never have to play Rise of the Robots ever again. I can just relax and play some games that aren't total garbage. Take a deep breath. Isn't that so much better? What's this game?
They made a sequel.